the applications for that is being built in the.
Would you like to sit down, ma'am?
Yes, thank you. I don't know, but.
Good morning, Ms. Harper.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you were charged with assault causing bodily injury. You were facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On January 28th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to an Avis rental car in Houston, Harris County, Texas for an assault call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with the complainant, who stated she is an employee at the business. The complainant stated that a week before, the defendant was at the business returning a car, and the defendant stated there was a mistake on the receipt that needed to be corrected. The complainant stated that she could not make corrections, but her manager could when he came back next Wednesday. The defendant returned a day before the next Wednesday, and the defendant became upset because she believed the complainant told her to return that day. The defendant began to cause a disturbance. The complainant turned her back to the defendant behind the service desk and saw the defendant grab a clear plastic medium-sized display holder from the service counter and throw it at the complainant, hitting her upper thigh area. The corner where the display frame made contact with the complainant's thigh shattered into small pieces, causing pain. The complainant stated she was calling the cops. The complainant was able to capture a picture of the vehicle, and the defendant was seen getting in. The complainant was able to capture a picture of the vehicle the defendant was seen getting into and driving off in. The complainant was able to give a license plate number. The vehicle was registered to the defendant, and the complainant positively identified the defendant by a previous booking photo.
Got it. All right, Ms. Harper, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to this, was it Enterprise or Avis?
Avis rental car.
Not to go back to this Avis, not to have any contact with a complaining witness, and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? These are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. You will be put into custody. No more PR bonds. Do you mind filing those conditions?
Okay.
Ma'am, would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay. Deputy Manager, do you mind giving an application? I'm going to give you an application. I need you to fill it out for me. I need you to sign a reset with Victoria. Then we'll have you just take a seat in the jury box while we get everything ready, and then I'll have you talk to the lawyer here momentarily. Okay? And take your time. Good morning, Mr. Lazo.
Good morning.
Today's going to cost you big.
Me va a costar muy grande.
Get ready.
Prepare.
It's going to cost you big today, Mr. Lazo.
Hoy, señor Lazo.
You're charged of driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also charged of failure to stop and give information.
Dar información.
You have
Usted
worked
tiene
out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 18 months. You must do a thinking for a change, 4 victim impact panels, a repeat offender DWI education class. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see if other conditions must be added. If they add other conditions, you must complete them. No breath test refusal, meaning that if you're pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. No drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, $500 restitution paid to the first complaining witness, $900 restitution paid to the next complaining witness. 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition.
Yes.
What day to begin? The 21st. You said March 21st? You need to understand that this now makes 2 DWIs that are going on your record. What happens on the next one?
Like what?
If you ever pick up another DWI, what kind of sentence will you be facing?
Ya estaría enfrentando.
Pues no sé, sería más grande, pero ya no pienso manejar y tomar.
Well, I don't know. It would be bigger than this, but I'm not planning on driving and drinking and driving.
Do you know how many times I've heard that,
¿Cuántas veces yo oí
Mr. Lazo?
Lazo?
Sí, a otros yo sé que lo dicen, pero yo sí lo cumplo.
Stop. I want you to listen.
Pero que ustedes
Do you know how many times people have told me, I'm never going to do it again?
voy a volver a hacerlo otra vez.
Do you know how many times?
¿Sabe cuántas veces?
You never
Usted
know what happens in the future.
sucede en el
There's a
futuro.
death in the family.
Hay una muerte en
wife
la
cheats
familia, su
on
esposa,
You lose a son or a daughter.
un hijo, una
You
hija,
never know what happens
sabe lo que va a pasar.
that will cause you
Que podría
to do
causar que
something
usted haga
that you
algo
wouldn't
que
normally
se hecho
do.
normalmente.
You need to understand that from now on,
Que de ahora en
if you
adelante,
ever pick up another DWI,
otro,
you will be facing a felony
estaría
charge,
enfrentando un cargo
minimum of
mayor
2 years in
de
prison,
2 años,
a maximum of 10
máximo
years
10 años.
in prison.
10 años,
And you don't have to be falling down stupid drunk to
borracho,
pick up a felony.
para que le den.
The only thing that needs to happen is you in a car, you get pulled over,
Que no paran.
just the odor of
El
alcohol.
olor de alcohol,
An officer is going to look at your record
que va a mirar su expediente,
and they will make assumptions.
a presumir,
And then you will possibly be facing a felony charge.
inventando un delito mayor.
So if I were you,
Así que si yo
I
fuera
would
usted,
never,
yo jamás,
ever,
jamás
if you've had a sip of
hubiera
alcohol,
tenido
get
de
into a
alcohol
car.
en un carro.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende?
Sí, yo lo entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
There is also a $6,000 surcharge
Es un cargo de 6,000
that you will be required to pay on this case
en este caso,
because it's a second DWI.
que es
I
seguro
told you that it was going to cost you big.
que va a costar.
And I will tell you now,
Y le digo,
if you don't pay it,
que si no lo paga,
every $100 that you owe,
en toda
you will sit one day in jail.
ya en la cárcel.
So you can imagine,
Así que imagínate.
because with court costs, you're probably going to owe around $6,500 to $6,600. You can probably guess how long it will take in jail to satisfy $6,600 at $100 per day.
$1,600 a $100 al día.
Esto es bastante, sí.
Yes, I know, it's quite a bit.
Somehow, we have to get through to you
Usted
so that you understand
para que usted entienda
this is unacceptable.
esto, no.
The only thing we are trying to do
Lo que estamos
is
tratando
prevent someone from dying,
de alguien,
because every day someone dies on our road
alguien muere en nuestra
from a
carretera,
intoxication case.
alguien que está ebrio,
You are giving up the right to a trial,
tiene su derecho,
right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf,
tenga su
confront and cross-examine your accusers.
Pero
If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported,
podría ser
excluded from the country,
deportado,
denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal.
su derecho a apelar.
Once you accept
Ya
this
cuando
agreement,
acepta este acuerdo,
you're stuck with us until you successfully complete it or you get revoked for non-compliance. Now,
ahora,
if you test positive for alcohol,
pasan positivas de
You-
alcohol,
do something to violate this probation, like pick up a new case.
casos
You
nuevos,
do not do your classes on time.
clases, no termina las clases a tiempo.
If you fail to pay restitution to the complaining witnesses, then I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Bueno, una orden.
And on a probation violation, you're looking at you're looking at an entire year
Mira,
in
un
jail.
año completo en la cárcel.
Do you
¿Lo
understand?
entiende?
Sí, sí lo entiendo.
Yes, yes, I do understand.
How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Culpable o no culpable?
Pues soy culpable, pues.
Well, I'm guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty and send you to the agreement.
Venció.
So in this case, as part of the plea bargain,
Parte.
you're also charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident.
Dice,
And here we have two people that were,
bueno,
or two different, I guess,
Vehicles.
vehicles that were,
Damaged, yes.
que tuvieron la-
They were both struck by the defendant, yes.
any injuries?
bueno, a los dos.
No, Your Honor.
Pregunta si hubieron lesiones físicas, dice que no, su señoría.
We were lucky that no one was injured.
Tiene suerte que
Lazo.
nadie se lastimó,
No.
señor.
Because it's a second offense, I have to suspend your
Okay.
license.
Tengo su licencia.
I'm going to do it for a year. Because you're not able to drive, you will get a portable device that you will take with you so that we know that you're not consuming alcohol.
Para asegurarnos que no está consumiendo alcohol.
Do you have a portable device now?
I'm not sure. Let me double check, Judge. I believe it may be a scram, but let me
Pero
verify.
esto es una.
Well, I have
Portable.
this.
He has
So
scram on his
what we'll
leg.
do is, once you get the portable device,
Tienen este aparato por-
I will give you an order to remove your ankle monitor.
Dicen,
I have been paying for your ankle monitor
estamos
now.
pagando por ese-
I cannot pay for your portable device while you're on the probation. You will be responsible for that payment.
Eres responsable por ese pago.
We will give you a sufficient amount of time to pay.
Ponte tiempo,
I can give you a 2-year,
puedo dar
3-year payment plan.
pago un plan de pago de 2 o 3 años. Okay.
How much is it?
Yo estaba pagando.
The total that you will be required to pay is $6,445.
$145.
And we can do that. So that's around 200 and, you're doing it, how many months? This is, oh, it's 18 months. Yeah, so it's,
The green card code. So it's the one already. That's what it is.
I have 350.
Then you have a green card. So it's the-
Did you do 16 or did you do 18?
16.
It's 18-month probation.
But the first month is our important, and then they like to have the fees by the last month, so we only do it by 16.
Got it, okay. If you need more time to pay,
Más tiempo para
we can always give you more time to pay.
Podemos dar más tiempo.
If you ever have any issues, all you need to do is come back and talk with us
Hay que hacer
and we
venir a
can
hablar
work
con
through anything.
nosotros. Podemos trabajar
The
en
worst possible thing you can do is just take off.
No pagar.
irse, not pay.
No,
No.
the worst possible thing you can do is just take off
Eres
and
ir
not do anything,
y no
because then
porque entonces
100% a warrant will issue.
100%
But if you have any problems, come,
porque el problema
communicate with us, and we can always work through any issues.
es cualquier
But I'm going to tell you now,
pero le digo,
if I find that you're consuming alcohol, we will have a really
tendrá
big
un
problem.
problema bien grande.
Not to consume,
Puede
and you're not to drive
puede manejar
unless you have a valid Texas driver license,
gente,
liability insurance,
seguro,
and you have a guardian interlock in the car.
tiene un aparato. un
I'm
aparato en su
telling
carro.
you, if I find that you drive without any of these devices and without our approval,
Algo en su carro,
I will grow horns because I will be so upset.
va a estar tan enojado.
Do you understand?
¿Lo entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Wave.